Sometimes we need to constrain generic type arguments. So let's define a simple generic function that takes a value of type t and simply returns that value. Now we can call this function and give it any kind of value. We can give it a number, a string, and so on. There are no limitations. But what if we want to constrain or limit the type of objects that we can pass here? Well, let's look at a few examples. So right after our generic type parameter, we type extends, and then we specify the type that can be assigned to t. So if we say number or string, we can only pass number or string values here. If we pass a Boolean, we get a compilation error. That was one example. We can also constrain by the shape of an object. So instead of number or string, we can pass a shape object and say, here we need a property called name of type string. Now we can only pass objects that conform to this shape. So here we have to pass an object with a name property. Okay? We can also constrain by an interface. So we can define an interface called person that has a name property. And then we can say t extends person. That's another example. We can also constrain by class. So let's change this interface to class. And here we replace this with a constructor with one parameter. Now we can pass an instance of person or any classes that derive from person. So let's create another class called customer that extends person. Now, we don't want to add anything extra here. What I want to point out is that when calling echo, we can pass a new person object or a new customer object. So literally any object that is a person. That means an instance of person or any classes that directly or indirectly derives from person. Next, we're going to talk about extending generic classes.